Thank you. Well, I have come here to invite all of you, I guess. Not Shu and Elizabeth only, but all of you should be in India. And why? This is the reason. I'm being on the mission of eradicating information poverty. I believe that everybody is information poor, and I think everybody is information rich. You, maybe from a developed country, think like you are information rich. We from less communication think information poor, but I'll prove you otherwise also. This is a small family. They don't have house, they don't have water, they don't have basic amenities. And can you ever imagine they would video conference with you as well in just a span of 1 or 2 years. And I feel myself much more rich being with the poor than the otherwise. And my richness is what I would like to share with you, is how it has gone in the last 10 and 11 years. Information poverty, I got the idea that it is like a disease, and why it is like a disease, I got this nirvana after 40 years. I was born in a village, like the other picture that you just saw, and that village, by the way, still do not have electricity. Even today, do not have electricity. And it was always in my mind that, this is the way to live. I graduated, by the way, in 8 years. It took me 8 years to graduate. And I had to not steal, but cheat, kind of thing, in the papers in my pocket. And I was tired of university because I was non-competitive. I didn't remember what I used to read. I always want to walk away and things like that. I ended up doing journalism, and which became a boon in a period of a couple of years, and then came to the capital of the country. I was not born there. I came to the capital of the country. I struggled a huge amount. Nobody used to give me a job because I was not English medium. I knew Urdu, Hindi. I would have done better journalism in Hindi and Urdu than English, but I wanted to do in English, and it took 4 years for me to get a job. And 4 years, the life was in slums, in shacks, everywhere, door to door, knocking, get me a job. All newspaper used to throw me out. But one thing that I never did is that I never thought that they were wrong. I always thought that I need to work harder. I need to work harder. Truly speaking, I never thought that they need to be blamed. I also come from a minority community in India. Many friends of used to tell me that, it is because you're a minority. I said, no, I don't think I still write better so that they should take me. And the first job I got is in a IT magazine. And that's how my entire knowledge of IT and journalism started. And that's how the journey went. And I wanted to share with you that after having done journalism, gone into new media, ran software company for 4 years, sold it off. And the reason why I sold it off is because I got an idea that what am I doing? I am racing in the entire industrial thing. I'm every day going out to get business to do what? To accumulate more money, to accumulate more assets, for what? And there are millions and millions of family in India who are yet to get to, their food for a day. There are 350 million people in India, larger than US size, who are below poverty line, whose daily earning is less than $2 a day. And that is the day I sold it off. And I said, it is me who has to give, not take. And when you are giving, that is the way you have to go forward. Because unless you give, the circle is not complete. If you're taking, then you need more and more resources. And since you are born to the nature, it is the nature who has to take care of you. You are not going to, keep on taking from the resources. And that is when I decided to form this organization from a bedroom. And day by day, our job is to information empower people, to connect them, to give them information. And this is how the story goes. And this is the first story I would like to share. Can you imagine? This is a 60-year-old, illiterate, uneducated, and she started learning computers at the age of 60. She's 65 today. In a village in Rajasthan, which is a desert area. And when she started learning computer, it took 6 months for her to understand what keyboard is all about. And after 6 months, she had taught the entire village computers. She runs the entire office of the organization where she works. And she does take printout, keep to all the tables of her offices. And that's how she started going. And then she left the organization. She went back to her village. She fought an election for village councillor. She won. And now she operates on Facebook, on internet. She takes away all the information from the website of our state and distribute among the citizens. And that's how she has been empowering using ICT, because government is supposed to produce all the information on the website. Even if it is supposed to be given locally, they don't. So it gave me an idea. There are 250,000 village councils in India. They all are illiterate, uneducated, but they are elected. 3 million people we elect every 5 years. They are absolutely digitally illiterate. And government is not doing anything about it. Even the parliamentarians do not have a website. So we started doing a website for them, training with them. We just did 500 out of 250,000. But pressurizing the government to officialize it. Unless you officialize it, make it an act, nobody's going to do it. So we want to change the policy in the governance to create transparency, and the leader for us is that lady. You know, she inspired us to do this. And this is another story. Have a look and then I'll let you know.
I'm Osama Manzar. I'm the founder and president of Safa Society. The website has created an awareness globally in terms of attracting fundings. People see that it is a credible organization, and that's what we are looking at, selling our products online in India and abroad. Also, our website has been instrumental in attracting a lot of volunteers. I have volunteers from Canada, and I have volunteers from US.
There are 3.3 million NGOs in India. If you calculate, every 400 people has an NGO in numbers. Why it is important? And they are the people who work at a village level. After government, they are the only organization who work at a grassroots level. We thought it is extremely important to put them online so that they can connect, they can raise funds, they can get volunteers, they can produce information. In an information age, you are a poor country if you are not available being searched through the Google or the web. That's important. So we started an eNGO program, and we have done 2,000 websites so far, and we do it free of cost. We host them free, we develop free, we give them domain free for the first year, and the second year we charge them just $50 for unlimited space. And it is also sustainable. So that was a lady who basically told you why this website was important, and she works with absolutely destitute girls who are not even allowed to go out of their house to work. And she created a website, got international volunteers, and now they produce product which they sell all over the world through the web. Come to another example. We all know education is the basic infrastructure of the whole world, whole country. But what is the situation in India? We have schools. How many schools? 1.4 million schools. But not of them are like that. 95% of our schools do not have computers, do not have internet. 95%. But we thought, forget about 95%, get 5% online so that it inspires others. That's the positive side, because if we keep bothering about the 95%, we are not going to make it. So what do? We created a Wikipedia kind of scenario, uploaded all the content from all those schools. Not 5%. 5% is a huge, it's like half the Europe. But 500 schools to inspire more and more children and teachers to go online. 250 million children go to school. Supposed to, not all of them. But this is an inspiration that we are trying to create. Basic innovation, but existing innovation. Like she said, steal and flourish. This is another example. The guy on the red shirt, he is 22 today. When I met him, he was 18, and he was an innovator. How did I meet him? Out of a cordless mic, he created a transmitter of radio. Out of a cordless mic. He wondered why the voice goes without wire. And he ripped it apart and created a microphone, a transmitter, radio, and broadcasted radio station for 15 kilometers for 5 years. Illegally. And the day he became famous, CNN, NDTV, all over the world started featuring him. I got to know about him. I took a train, went to his house, and the police was standing there. And he thought I came with the police to, take away the transmitter. But I was just sitting back. He gave the transmitter, and then I started talking. I said, "Did you give the transmitter? How are you going to broadcast?" He said, "No, that was a different packet. The real one is here." I said, "Don't they know? They don't understand anything." So I said, "But you're doing illegal." "Yes, I have been doing illegal for the last 5 years, but all these people want me. They want broadcast, they want to convey the message, and radio is just 200 rupees, which is $2, $3. One can buy." And he created that transmitter less than $2. And then I said, "Why don't you come along with me? Now that you can't run a radio because it's not licensed." And after that, he created a radio. We started distributing. We started inspiring the manufacturer that low-cost transmitter is extremely important to have a broadcasting tool in the remote areas, because that's the only information tool they have. And because of research on him, I got elected by the government as a licensing committee member for the community radio station. It's only because of him, his innovation. So now we have more than 150 community radio stations in the country broadcasting 16-kilometer area where there is no choice but to only have radio. And now radio is popular because also mobile can have radio, so you don't need to buy another equipment to listen. And our society is oral, so it goes very well. This girl, a weaver, traditional weaver, supposed to be in school, but what is she doing there? She's weaving clothes for the rest of the world, if they can buy, but she's unable to reach them. Why? Because they don't know modern technology, they don't know how to sell, they don't have a platform, they don't know where is the market, they keep on doing hard work. And what we did is that introduced computers and designing and not from the outsiders, from the insiders. And now what they are doing is that they are designing the entire saris and everything on computers before it goes to the loom. So during the day, they go to school, during the evening, they go to the loom and do it. And they're doing it by themselves. I had a video, but you can have a look later. We have 26 million such organizations in India, weavers, and who are creating business. But the reason why they do not get a financial crisis is because internally, but they are not unable to sell outside. So what we thought that if you do one cluster, two clusters, then we can inspire the government, why don't you do rest of the clusters? So this cluster is totally Wi-Fi, 5 kilometers Wi-Fi. Shu has seen it, Elizabeth has seen it. And they have a Facebook, they have an e-commerce website, now they are selling the same product outside. That's the power of internet. Can you guess that these people can handle radio and mobile and broadcast? They are from the salt desert of western Gujarat in India, where there is nothing. And what they do is that they use radio as well as mobile to work violence against women. Because in villages, it's a male-dominating society, so there is a huge amount of violence all across. And they have a toll-free number where they get the call, and there is a para-legal woman who are now informed from the local station that please rush and save them. All oral. It's the same technology that you use, I use, but they use in a different way to solve a problem. So we fund such organizations across the year. 13 organizations we are funding, and we are trying to scale them up so that the same projects can go further here and there. Guess what? This is this guy who is on the right. He is illiterate, uneducated, and he is a wireless engineer. We call him Barefoot Wireless Engineer. Here is his story.
Baran in Rajasthan, home to Saharia and Bhil tribes, is one of the most poverty-stricken districts in India. In 2010, they got introduced to some digital tools like digital camera, computers, and crawling and barely functional internet. And the person who was at the forefront of bringing technology and new media in the life of the tribals of Baran is an unassuming Vijoy Roy. He completed only basic education, class 8, just literate, but his speed of adaptability to digital device is God-gifted. Give him anything and he'll learn it within hours. Be it computer, graphic designing, digital camera, editing video, climbing on towers for wireless networking, configuring Wi-Fi, modems, routers, taking geo-specific locational coordinates, mapping locations on Google Map, setting up line of sight, opening hardware, loading software, doing conversation on Skype, setting up teleconferencing and telehealth centers, and so on.
He has done 150-kilometer area totally Wi-Fi, and not a single person are literate who are using it. But why it is useful is because it's oral. Audio-visual is oral. Video conferencing is oral. They are accessing YouTube, they are talking to each other, they are going to the centers locally and getting enabled, talking to the world. And even if they can't talk on writing, they talk on, verbally. So solving the problem within the society. So what do? We have a huge problem. These are few examples. 1.2 billion population, 650,000 villages. Even 100 people cannot solve that problem. 250,000 village councils, 6,000 blocks, 640 districts, 35 provinces for one country. What we thought is that we just need 6,000 change makers to go in each block and make this change one by one. So we are saying we are not relying on anybody. We have to make this change. We have done so far in the last 11 years about 2 million people digitally literate, no less. 2 million. It's a huge number, drop in an ocean like India. But I would like all of you to rise and please come with us, not only two. That's my invitation to all of you. And join this force which is coming up with mobile in their hand, and hopefully they are going to become the change makers for this country. Thank you very much.